The American government, under the orders of President Trump, has now placed severe travel restrictions on Nigerian citizens, among other countries, from entering the United States. Recent US immigration discussions have just reminded many of us that the country you're from, or you live, or where you're born can affect your opportunities, sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly. But today, we're not doing fears or rumors, we're doing facts. A lot of people have been confused as to what the President Trump has announced on December 16th about restricting entry of foreign nationals into the country. So in this video, I'm going to slow everything down and explain in simple terms. I'm also going to talk about who this policy or what it actually is, who it affects, which visa categories were mentioned, what it means for nurses, skilled professionals, especially for people like me who are from Nigeria. So stay with me and I'm going to break it down so you're informed and not misinformed. Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ucheago, and if you're interested in immigration, nursing opportunities, working, studying abroad, then you are in the right place. Please do consider to like this video. Let's get straight into the facts about the recent updates from yesterday. First of all, this is a country-based entry restriction. This proclamation is not a general US has stopped all immigration announcements. It is a country-based restriction. That means it is a temporary ban on some countries. So this rule depends on your nationality, on which country you are applying from. It lists group of countries that are either fully restricted, meaning entry is largely suspended, and also it listed countries that are partially restricted, meaning some visa types are suspended, others may be limited. Secondly, what it says about the visa categories. The proclamation clearly mentions certain non-immigrant visas, and these are the ones many people keep quoting. It mentions the B1, B2 visas. These are visitor visas. People generally come into the United States for tourism, for short business trips. It mentioned F visas. Students usually use F visas. M visas are for vocational or technical training. J visas are exchange visitor programs. So yes, these categories were mentioned, but here is the important part that's bringing a lot of confusion to people who want to relocate to the United States. It is the proclamation that talks about immigrants. And immigrant entry includes things like the family-based immigrant visa and employment-based immigrant visa. Skilled workers, nurses, healthcare professionals, or skilled professionals use employment-based visa categories, popularly called EB3 visa categories. So it would not be right to just say students are only the ones affected. For some countries, it includes immigrants too. I'm going to mention the countries at some point in this video. Now let's talk about Nigeria. According to the proclamation for Nigeria, entry is suspended for nationals of Nigeria as immigrants. And also, it has suspended for nationals of Nigeria on B1, F, M, and J visas. And it also says other non-immigrant visas may have reduced validity. So if you're Nigerian, this is not just about the visitor visa. This also includes immigrant entry too. What this means for EB3 and nurses. So let me say this clearly because this is where most of the confusion is. And EB3 is an immigrant visa pathway. So if a proclamation says entry as immigrants is suspended for your country, that can also affect EB3 applicants also. Even if the words EB3 were not written out, it does need to say EB3 by name because it already covers all immigrants visa categories. So for nurses and skilled workers, the key question is not just is EB3 mentioned. The key question becomes, does this restriction apply to you based on your current location or your visa status on the effective date? Because this is a very important limitation in the proclamation. So as long as you own a Nigerian passport, this proclamation does not apply to everyone from these countries automatically. It applies to foreign nationals who are outside of the United States on the effective date and do not have a valid visa on the effective date. So the effective date for this is January 1, 2026, 12 a.m. Eastern Time. So let's simplify it. If you already have a valid US visa before this effective date, this proclamation says it should not be revoked because of this. But if you are outside of the United States and you don't have a valid visa by that date, then this restriction can block your entry under the covered categories. Who is exempt or who is not exempt? The proclamation also lists exemptions. For example, it does not apply to lawful permanent residents. It doesn't apply or affect people who already have green cards. So exceptions for certain diplomatic and international organization visas like A, G, NATO categories, some special immigrant visa situations. It also mentions that this is case by case national interests, except maybe still possible through the government. So it's going to be a case by case national interest this time. So what you should do with this information now, this is my honest advice. If I were in your shoes, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to panic. Number two, do not dismiss this as it's only tourist visas. If you are from a listed country, especially Nigeria, this proclamation includes immigrants entry restrictions too. So it could affect employment-based immigrant pathways depending on your situation. It may not affect as well. It did not state the particular immigrant visa, but it just said immigrant visa, and so it covers the whole topic. Here's what to do instead of panic. Whether you're from the country listed as fully or partially restricted, pay attention to the effective date, January 1, 2026. If you're already in the United States, your situation is different from someone who is outside of the United States. If you already have a valid visa before this effective date, January 1, 2026, the proclamation says it won't revoke it under this proclamation. So if you're still at the early stage outside of the US and you don't have a valid visa yet, you need to understand that this can affect your approval. For nurses who are the reason why I'm making this video, or part of the reason why I'm making this video, doing EB3, this is where it becomes really important to speak with your sponsoring employer or immigration attorney so you can understand the case clearly. This proclamation is country-based. It affects both immigrants and non-immigrant entry for certain countries. And also, it applies mainly to people who are outside of the United States who do not have a valid visa on the effective date. I hope this clears the whole thing out there. And again, this is a disclaimer. I am not an immigration lawyer. I am not an immigration attorney. I have made this video based on research and verifiable information that have been listed online and from the website, White House website as well. I'm going to put the website link in the description of this video and other countries affected in the description of this video, so that this video is not going to be too long and it will not bore you. Thank you for watching this video. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share to anyone else. And also, I will see you again in my next video. Thank you for now. Bye.